Hi, this is Justin from Charity Happenings. We're back here on step 3. Just going to give you quick tips and a little tutorial on completing this page. So you'll see here, this is the kind of the checkout page. So what information you would like to collect from two things. One is your ticket buyers, and two are each individual attendees. So this top part talks about the ticket buyers. This is the actual person that's going to be paying with his or her credit card. So what information do you want to collect from them? And you'll see first name and last name is defaulted to yes. I would always recommend collecting their email address. So you just want to put a check mark in there. And it's always usually a good idea to put their buyer phone number. Buyer address, you can collect that if you ever need to mail them anything. But just remember that the more information you try and collect from your ticket buyers, kind of the harder it is for somebody to check out. Or maybe not so much harder, but the more time it takes for somebody to check out. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Now if you see under here, this is going to be the information that we want to collect from each individual attendee. So let's say I want to buy a ticket for my son and daughter to go to an event. So my information would be up top, but my son and daughter's information would be down here. So you as the event organizer can decide whether you actually want to collect that information or not collect it. So actually here in this example, I'll decide to collect it because let's say there's a security issue, and I need to make sure I get the names of everybody that's going to walk through the door. Whereas if you don't mind knowing, and you don't just mind it being, John Doe plus 2, or John Doe, bought 3 tickets, or 2 tickets, that's fine, and then they would show up with their guests and say, these are my 2 guests. So just for example purposes, I'm going to show you what this kind of layout looks like on an actual checkout process. Okay, here we go. Here's an actual checkout process of buying 2 VIP tickets, and you'll see what the ticket buyer needs to fill out. They create a username, they create a little password so they can always sign back in and reprint the tickets. First name and last name, like we said, an email address. And now down here you'll see they have to fill out the names of their guests. Now if they are one of the guests, they would just put their name in there and their email, but you can just kind of see how that looks. And if you don't do anything, maybe I'll show you an example of that right now. If you didn't want to collect any information at checkout of the actual attendees, I'll show you what that checkout looks like. So you can see this is a checkout where they decided not to collect any information from the attendees. And you can see they bought 2 tickets here, and all the ticket buyer would have to do is just fill out this information and then pay. So they don't have to enter any information about the attendees. So that's just something to think about. Now we're back here. Just remember that any checkbox that you check is going to be required at checkout, so there's no optional. So if you select that you want to collect the attendee's first name and last name, they have to enter in something. Now if they don't know it, 99.9% of the time they'll enter in their first, they'll just enter in their name again. But that's just something to keep in mind. Next thing we want to do is create your own custom questions. This is totally optional, but let's say you want to find out how they found out about the event, or if they require wheelchair access or need a vegetarian meal. This is where you would do that. You would click add and create a ticket, then click add a question, and why don't we make this a drop down box. So we're going to say, how did you hear about our event? And we're going to make it required. And now the values. Just remember, when you separate the values, you have to do it with a comma. So if we're going to do, here it's already done, Google, comma, internet, comma, friend, comma, charityhappenings.org. So these are the different options that will come down in the drop down box, and then once you're done, just click save. Just click save, and it might take you back to step 1. Just go back to step 3, and you'll see your question down here at the bottom. So that's it, and once you're done with all the 1, 2, 3, and step 1, 2, 3, just go ahead and click save and publish. You can always click preview, and that'll give you a preview of the event. If you don't want it yet published, you just want to save it as a draft and come back to it, you can click that. But we'll do save and publish, and it'll open up our event that we just created. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, of course, call us. Our number is 1-800-610-TKTS or 1-800-610-8587. Thanks. Bye.